Hey doctors, Dr. Rader here, Dr. CEO. Hey, I want to go over something with you today that I think it's kind of one of those topics that doctors don't like to talk about. Maybe they're embarrassed or scared, or maybe they don't want to come across as being conceited or showy or whatever the situation is. I posted a question that said, can we agree that that a doctor that appears successful is important when choosing a doctor? So basically, is it important when you go to see a new doctor? Does it appear that they are a successful doctor? When you look at them online, is it important to see that they might be, they have success traits about them, or there are certain things that speak success when you see this doctor via online or when you walk in their business? So I posted this question, so you always get a mixed bag when you look at these. There's doctors that have this scarcity mentality that, oh, you can't talk like that. You can't, it's all about the patient. It's all about serving, and it's all about this. The patient doesn't care. All you got to do is provide good care and results. Yes, obviously you have to provide good care and results, but it's important to look the part. It's important to have pride and have standards in your practice, right? These people are they're looking at you as a role model. They're looking at you as being a successful doctor. They're looking at you as someone that pays attention to details. In my opinion, it's very, very important. And you have to, depending on who you want to treat. I was in a higher end boutique style practice. It was all cash. We had a high upfront fee. We had high back end fees. And I needed to look the part. If I was going to charge a premium, then I better provide a service that commanded that premium. Our staff, our customer service, everything needed to be top notch in order to get paid. And so I put a lot of effort in that. I had a lot of pride in that in my office. I know a lot of docs don't. All they focus on is, it's not the same focus, put it that way, okay? But I do believe doctors need to be paying more attention to this, because I walk into a lot of offices and I see a lot of weird stuff. I see stuff that's out of place. I see their practices. They don't put any detail in. It doesn't look like the place has been cleaned in a long time. It doesn't look like they put any attention into this practice. And when I go to see a doctor and I walk in and I'm looking at every square inch of that place, I'm gonna is this guy or the gal pay attention to detail or not? Because if they're not paying attention to details in their own practice and they don't have a pride in their own practice, what makes me think that I should be entrusting my faith in my health and my family's health in that doctor, right? And so there's a level of standard that you have as a practitioner and representing yourself, your practice, and the profession. Some doctors are too damn fucking cheap that they won't do anything. They'll run the carpet till it's completely wore through to the concrete, right? That isn't up-leveling our profession. And they just say, oh, I'm serving. Yeah, that's great. Keep going. Keep serving, right? In the meanwhile, you're not creating a very good... You're not doing the things that we need to be doing as a chiropractic profession in my own way I look at it, to up-level us, right? And so my thought process is much different, but there's an interesting comment. One of the doctors here had said that he gets far more patients to commit to treatment plans if the office is busy when they come in for their first appointment. Absolutely, right? No one wants to go into empty restaurants and have an empty restaurant issue where you go into a restaurant, no one's in there, and you're like, wow, is this a very good restaurant, right? You want the place busy. You want to structure your schedule so that you have people there when people are there. There's always going to be slower times inside the practice typically, and there's going to be really busy high peak hour times, right? But if you're smart about how you're scheduling, you can balance that out well, and your staff is on top of that. That's it's a very good point. And he also says, to be honest, I look at the watch and the shoes of the doctor, what he's wearing when I meet with him the first time. Why? Because this doctor can pay attention to the details. You know, I do the same thing. As I'm not only looking at the practice, I'm looking at the doctor's dress, I'm looking at the staff dress, I'm looking at everybody well groomed. What's this place? What's going down over here at this place? Do these people have higher standards or not? I don't need to have it over the top, but I do need to have it at a certain level when I go to see these people. So I do believe that the doctor's success, not in a conceited way, not in an arrogant way, not in an over-top way, but that they do need to come across as being a successful practitioner, and that they should be doing whatever they can to make sure that they're up-leveling themselves, the results, the practice, the community, doing everything they can in regards to their business. So anyhow, I thought it was an interesting topic. I know a lot of times, like in school, what do they teach us? And I still remember them talking about this. And it kind of was weird to me because I don't think like this. So the teachers would say, you know, be careful what you wear. Don't wear any flashy watches. Don't wear any flashy shoes. Be careful what you do. You know what? They had no fucking clue. That's the reason they were teaching, right? My clientele was a certain type of clientele. What do you think Dr. Rader dressed like, looked like? He looked and dressed like his exact demographic he was targeting. I was a high-end cash business. I wasn't targeting the blue-collar worker, which my family was middle class. I grew up middle class. I grew up in a town of 130 people, very simple means. We didn't have a lot of money. But that wasn't my target because that group wasn't always able to pay the type of fees that I was going to request them to pay to work with me over the next 8 to 12 weeks. Okay, so know who your demographic is. If that is your demographic, then your practice will be set up for that style of patient. But once you know where your avatar is, what your demographic is, then you dress accordingly and you look accordingly. You have standards in accordance with those. Because if you don't have standards at the level, if you're trying to target high-level professionals, business owners that are 6 to 7 figure earners in their work, if you're targeting that group that are busy professionals, if you're targeting that group and you look something totally not so, and you don't look that part, they don't assume that you're very successful, and they're going to be more skeptical about investing their hard-earned dollars to work with you. Some of you guys don't talk like this. Some of you guys are just all about serving at no matter cost or ability to pay. But I don't think that serves anybody. All right, guys, so that's all I'm going to talk about with this today. I hope you guys find it helpful, or at least something to think about. Dr. CEO, Dr. Rader here. If you have any questions or anything, or if you want to learn how to build a high-end boutique-style practice, or you're looking at up-leveling your practice, don't know exactly where to start, reach out to me and I'll see what I can do to help help level you up and to help increase those standards and to get you really what you want. Find a lot of doctors, they get in a rut, they haven't updated their offices for 15 years, and they're a bit behind the times, and they wonder why they aren't attracting the right people into their practices. So anyhow, hope you guys are well.